This is your friendly reminder that we are less than 70 days away from 2026. The end of the year is very quickly approaching, and I feel like by this time in the year, most people are just burned out from the year that has been. And a lot of people become just super focused on the holidays and then just kind of hunker down and hibernate until January 1st when they think they are going to magically appear into this best version of themselves. I know for myself personally, that is not going to be me. I am not going to wait 2 months to become the best version of myself. I am going to start that process now, and that's what the winter arc is all about. It's about making the most of the final few months of the year in getting as much progress in as possible towards achieving your goals and becoming the best version of you. The next 2 months can literally completely change your life if you make the decision to lock in now. This is your winter arc. This is your chance to reset, refresh, and get refocused on what is super important for you and what direction you want to go in with your life. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to make that happen. I'm going to be sharing with you how you can use the most of these next 2 months to make as much progress to your goals as possible. And to start this off, we are going to focus on 3 main topics: a mental category, physical category, and work category. First things first, if you really want to set yourself up for success, get rolling with your goals, and really start off running come January 1st, you need to give yourself a reality check. You have to start being brutally honest with yourself about what is going to take to achieve your goals and become the best version of you. Be crystal clear on what you're going to expect from these next 2 months and what that's going to require of you. So I really encourage you to take some time here, find some quiet time, grab a pen and paper. I know for my goal setting, I really like doing the physical act of writing things down and being very reflective on the year that has been. If you're listening to this video, I'm sure that you set some goals at the beginning of the year, so now would be a good time to pull out that 2025 goal list. I want you to go through that list and kind of categorize what you had on there into a few different categories. Goals that I've accomplished, goals I need to work on, and goals that I don't really care about anymore, because I'm sure you've changed in the past year. I'm sure there's some goals on there that really don't matter at this point anymore. So we can just discard those. There's no shame in not achieving a goal if it really doesn't serve who you want to be anymore. So from the category of goals that you have not achieved yet that are on that list, I want you to pick a select 1 or 2, maybe 3 goals that you really want to focus on for the remainder of the year. I want you to be very, very selective here, because the truth is, while you can get a lot accomplished in 2 months, the fact is we only have 2 months, and Christmas and the holidays are in there, which can potentially derail things a bit. So I want you to be very selective. I personally have picked 2 goals that I'm going to push forward towards the end of the year that I'm really hoping I can accomplish by then. It doesn't mean that you have to completely abandon the other goals on there that you still haven't achieved. We can put those on our goal list for 2026. So don't worry about that. The key factor here is just picking 2 goals that you really want to accomplish, 1, 2, 3 goals to accomplish, and really focusing on those for the limited time that we have left in the year. Next, I want you to ask yourself, what systems can I put in place to help me to achieve these goals? James Clear, who is the author of Atomic Habits, he said something to the effect of, you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. In other words, you need to give your goals a direction and kind of a box for them to occupy. Let's apply this to our winter arc that we're working on here. Let's say that your goal is to get in better shape. Think about the systems that you can construct around that to make that a reality. That might be scheduling workouts, signing up for a meal delivery system, hiring a personal trainer, signing up for some sort of a challenge, finding recipes, asking ChatGPT to make you a meal plan. There's all sorts of systems that you can put in place to ensure that you become the best shape of you. The point is that the goals are about the result. The systems are about the process that you implement to get that end result. If you build the right process, if you have the right system, the goals, the results will take care of themselves. As you design your winter arc, I encourage you to think more in process and system terms rather than just the end result. What are the systems that I need to in place to make sure that this gets done? For myself personally, one of the goals that I'm pursuing here towards the end of the year relates to my health. So I do have some specific health parameters that I'm aiming towards. And so I've asked myself, what systems do I need to put in place in order to ensure that I reach that goal? And one of them is actually having accountability. And so I do have a coach who is in my corner. She's a personal trainer as well as a registered dietitian. She is very clear on what my goals are, and she has given me a plan. And because I am a good student and I do as I am told, I follow through with that plan because I know I have to be accountable to her. So that is a very good system that I haven't previously had in place, but I wish I had, because I can already tell by having that accountability, by having that system in place of, we have bi-weekly phone chats and we also have just weekly check-ins where I submit stuff to her. By having that all in place, I can already see that I am going to hit my health goals. Maybe not by the end of 2025, because improving your health does take time, but I know come December 31st, I will be substantially closer to my health goals than I am today. For your winter arc, I also encourage you to set a theme. And if you don't really know what your theme should be, definitely utilize AI to kind of generate some ideas from you. You might tell AI what kind of direction you want to go in or what your goals are, and AI might help you with some theme ideas. And that's exactly what I did. I told ChatGPT what some of my goals are and just kind of the vibe that I want to set for my winter arc, and we landed on the theme of focus. I have been very scattered throughout the year. I will be honest and say that I haven't achieved as much as I thought I would this year, and I think it's just because I haven't really narrowed down what I want to work on and really pushed forward with those specific things. So I think having a theme of focus for my winter arc is going to allow me to focus and therefore achieve the goals that I have set for myself. At this point, I would also encourage you to start thinking about what your theme should be for 2026, because for one, we don't want the theme for the last 2 months of 2025 to be in direct conflict with 2026's theme, because the point of the winter arc is to get the ball rolling, build some momentum with who we want to be in 26, so that by the time January 1st comes along, we are well on our way to becoming that person. So if I look at myself personally, if I said that for the rest of 2025, I'm going to lean down and I want to finally get six-pack abs, but as soon as January 1st comes, I really want to focus on my hormonal health. Like, it's going to be me probably tanking my hormones to get six-pack abs, only to have to then reverse that work come 2026. So I would really encourage you, set your theme for the next 2 months of 2025, while also taking into consideration what your big theme for 2026 is going to be, and how the theme for 25 can kind of serve as like the opening act for 2026, if you will. The next thing that I want you to do for your winter arc is to start journaling. You have no idea the power of journaling. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I know there is research out there that says when people physically write down their goals, they are substantially, I want to say it's like 80% more likely to achieve their goals than if they had just said that they had a goal. I definitely want you to start journaling, and as part of that journaling process, writing down your goals frequently so that they stay top of mind throughout the next 2 months. Not only is journaling a great way to help improve your odds of achieving your goals, I think it's also very powerful to flip back in your journal and just see the progress that you made. If you really focus on taking action, making progress towards your goal, you can flip back in your journal on, say maybe you're not having the greatest day and you feel like nothing's working, whatever else, you can flip back in your journal and see where you were a month or whatever ago and see how much progress you actually have made, which can be extremely motivating in times when you're feeling a bit discouraged. The last component of our mental category before we move on to the physical category is relationships. And especially this time of year, we're getting into the holidays. I think it's really, really important to connect with loved ones and just work on fostering those relationships. It is so important for our mental health. We are meant to be social people. Even if you are an introvert like myself, I am very much a person who keeps to myself, enjoys my alone time. I have come to realize over the years that always being alone is not good, and I do need to really work on developing and keeping key relationships in my life because they do more for your mental health than you might be aware. During this winter arc, and I think this time of year it's easy, right? There's lots of social events going on. Even if you are an introvert, to lean into that a bit and just work on developing your relationships throughout the course of the rest of 2025. Now let's move on to the physical category, and we're gonna start with what I'm gonna call a power hour. It's great to write down your goals, think about your goals, maybe visualize them. I know a lot of people are fans of vision boards, but the truth of the matter is that nothing is gonna happen if you don't do anything. And that's where this power hour comes in. I want you to schedule a power hour, and depending on what your goal is will determine how frequently you do this power hour. It might be every single day, it might be once a week, I don't know, but schedule your power hour as appropriate to really, really focus on your goal. For example, if one of my goals was to grow my YouTube channel, my power hour is definitely going to be about brainstorming video ideas, scripting those videos, creating thumbnails, videoing, like whatever I need to do to create high quality videos that I think you guys are going to enjoy, and really putting into action, proving to myself that I am very serious about growing this YouTube channel. And by taking this power hour to work on it, I am setting the wheels in motion to make sure that that will inevitably come true, that I will have a very good YouTube channel. Another component of this physical category, and I think something that's really important to do as part of your winter arc, is to declutter your space. I think there's a huge link between cluttered space, cluttered mind, clean space, clean mind. If you are living in chaos, your mind is going to feel chaotic. So take the time to, and you can just, I don't know, power through, take a full day to really declutter your space, or just do a little bit here and there throughout the next 2 months. Whatever you need to do, declutter your space. I have definitely been on this train lately. I'm looking around at what can I sell, what can I throw out, what can I donate. I'm not a minimalist by any means, but I just want to get rid of the things in my life that aren't serving me, or as Marie Kondo would say, are not sparking joy in my life, if they just feel heavy, if they represent something about the past version of me that I don't resonate with anymore, it needs to get out of here. Just free up that physical space so that it just it releases something. I don't know what it is. It releases something, makes you feel good. Do it. And I think this goes without saying that the physical category of your winter arc needs to include movement, whatever that looks like for you. Ideally, I think strength training should be a good chunk of your movement, but I know not everyone's into that. So whether you're a runner, a Pilates girly, what have you, get your movement in. I'm in a transition phase with my physical movement right now. I am trying to dial it back a bit, again, just in the name of my health, and just experimenting with some different stuff. I've sprinkled in some Pilates and stuff like that, and just testing the waters on different forms of movement. But the key is that I am consistent with that movement and doing it in a way that serves my body, keeps me feeling good, and just, yeah, builds me up rather than breaks me down like it has in the past. Now let's move on to the work category. And the first thing that we're going to do is evaluate your routines and how you're using your time. And the reason for that is because, like I said, 2026 will be here very, very soon. We have zero time to waste. So if we can identify any time wasters in our current routines and current schedule, we are going to hone in on those and eliminate them as much as possible. So I want you to ask yourself, am I wasting time? Where is there time in my day when I am not being as productive as I could be? Now, I will just say, obviously there is a time and a place for chilling out. We don't need to be go, go, go all the time. But if there are spaces in your days where you know, like, no, I am 100% wasting time, I'm procrastinating here, we need to get rid of that, because that's not going to work during our winter arc. I've started asking myself, is this worth my time? Or would my future self be happy that I was spending time on this? And I think using those as, should I be doing this, has been very, very helpful, especially when it comes down to me using my phone and scrolling on Instagram. I want to read more, so much more, but I just feel this magnetic pull towards scrolling on Instagram, but it's a waste of time. It is 100% a waste of time. And for my winter arc, I am bound and determined to not scroll on Instagram. I'm going to get my reading done and all that good stuff. So definitely, if you need to do a time audit, do that. So a time audit would be where you go through your day just as is, and in a journal or just on a piece of paper or in your phone, keep track on what you're doing every moment of the day and just assess, was that the best use of my time today? I also encourage you to check out the screen time tracker on your phone. That might be a good motivator for you as well on assessing whether you're using your time to the best possible way. And speaking of your phone, I do want you to also curate what you are consuming. So as part of my new health journey here, I've previously followed a lot of fitness influencers, bikini competitors, things like that. People who are very lean on Instagram. And now where I'm in this new phase of my life, that is not necessarily the best content for me to be looking at. I need to be looking at cute puppies and funny husband-wife reels, and just not fitness content, or at least not that kind of fitness content. So whatever that is for you, I encourage you to, whether it's Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, go through who you're following and ask yourself if following them is adding to your life or if it's making you feel lesser. And consider unfollowing those that aren't serving you anymore. So I feel like I follow no one on Instagram anymore because I unfollowed so many accounts. So now I'm in the process of slowly trying to find newer people that I can follow that are going to inspire me to continue on my journey with the goals that I have set, that are going to make me feel good about the goals that I set, rather than doubting what I'm doing every single moment of the day. So definitely curate what you're consuming, whether that be social media, podcasts, whatever you consume on a day-to-day basis. Consider, whether that is serving you given the goals that you have set and the person that you want to become going forward. As we move into the holiday season, I feel like, especially for someone who's an introvert, and even people who aren't, like just the whole chaos of tons of events and the pressure of buying Christmas presents and scheduling and travel, it's a lot. And I think it's really important during our winter arc to also focus on building up our emotional bank accounts. And the way to do that is kind of just to do things that are going to make you feel good and fill you up. So that might be going to social events, spending time with friends and family. It might be doing some volunteering over the holidays. It can also just look at things like just self-care, taking the time to just chill out and read a book one afternoon, just things that are going to fill you up, recharge your batteries, and make you feel good. And on the flip side, trying to avoid the things that are going to draw from your emotional bank account. So I know for me, that's scrolling on social media, bed rotting if you're the kind of person that does that, eating processed foods that aren't going to make you feel good, interacting with people that are kind of toxic. If we can avoid those things and lean into more of the activities and the things that build up our emotional bank account, that's going to go a long ways in terms of, I know for me, just giving me that vitality that I need in order to really push forward with the goals that I have set. And the last thing in this work category is I'm going to challenge you to learn something new in your winter arc here. I want you to, whether that be through like actually signing up for a course or some sort of membership or something, or if it's just listening about a topic through podcasts or audiobook or YouTube, I want you to learn something new. I think that is so underrated in terms of making us feel like we're doing something with our lives. I know the times when I feel stuck, it's because I really haven't done anything new. I haven't learned anything new. I'm just kind of in the same spot. But when I feel like I'm being productive, I'm learning more, I'm growing as a person, that's when I feel like I'm actually making progress with my life, which is that feeling that I really, really crave. And I think learning something new, it just kind of gives you a sense of confidence that I think we could all use going into 2026. All right, so as we move through our winter arc here through to the end of the year, each day I really encourage you to focus at the end of the day on 3 wins. What was a mental win, a physical win, and a work win. Just to remind yourself that you are doing this thing, you are making progress, you are going to achieve your goals, and you are going to make the most of this winter arc before 2026 is knocking at our door. With that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe. And until next week, we will see you then. Bye.